Hey, what's up everyone? In this video we're going to be comparing the Saucony Endorphin Shift against the Brooks Glycerin 18. Hey, what's up everyone and welcome back to Fordy Runs. Now if this is your first time at Fordy Runs, I want you to smash that pink button down there that says subscribe on it. Go to our Facebook page and join the Fordy Runs running community and check out the description. There's loads of cool things, including a link to both of these shoes. So we've got these long run sort of highly cushioned shoes back on the channel today. We've got the Saucony Endorphin Shift against the Brooks Glycerin 18. So let's get stuck in. Right guys, so here they are, the Glycerin and the Shift. Now I think they both offer something amazing for your long run. So I'm going to put that straight out there. I think these are both two awesome shoes. And I think along with the ASICS Glide Ride, if you're in marathon training or half marathon training, all three shoes actually offer something amazing and slightly different, you know, to help you combat those longer runs. You know, that you've all got cushioning in there. They've all got an element of sort of pick-up ability, so you can, you know, run some of it at goal pace if you want to. And they just, as I say, it's all about comfort and being able to sort of take you on those long runs. And I think all three shoes actually are worth checking out. And I think a lot of it comes down to personal choice. So today, hopefully, I'm going to give you a little bit of an insight into these two and sort of tell you which ones I prefer, and that hopefully will help you make a decision. But as I say, straight out the start, these are both two very good shoes. Let's get into some of the stats and some of the features. We'll start off with the Glycerin 18. So this shoe is £140, which is quite a lot of money. It's 10.2 ounces. It's got a 10mm drop. Both of these shoes, by the way, are neutral shoes. And then in the Brooks, you've got the DNA Loft midsole, and then you've got this sort of, like mainly all the shoes at the moment, this engineered mesh upper, which is super breathable. Then we come on to the very funky looking Endorphin Shift, which is part of the, oh, nearly dropped it, part of the Endorphin line, very popular line. And these do come in some very awesome colours, by the way. Now these Endorphin shoes, you've got the top, you've got the Pro, which is the Mad Marathon Runner. Then you've got the Speed, which is like, yeah, I can do a marathon, but I can also smash out a half marathon really fast. And then you've got the Shift at the bottom, which is there to sort of soak up those miles. And that's why they're a very good comparison to the two. This is a sort of non-traditional take on this. You know, it's a Brooks, so it's a very traditional shoe. I think they've gone kind of crazy with the design, but in a very, very good way. I think it looks awesome. And the black version of this is sweet as. The shoe is cheaper. It's £120 here in the UK, which is pretty cool. Actually, sorry, it's £130. The shoe weighs 10.4 ounces. You've got a 4mm drop. The midsole is the Power Run midsole. It's not the Power Run PB. It's a slightly denser EVA TPU midsole versus the other shoes. You've got the Speed Roll Tech in it, and the shoe's got this engineered mesh upper, which is very, very breathable. And actually, I prefer it over this. The breathability of this shoe is much better than this. So how do they feel and which one do I prefer? Where do we start? I think with the Saucony, there's a lot of shoe here, right? And also, you've got to bear in mind, this has got a 4mm drop. This has got a 10mm drop, right? So this feels not a totally different ride, but it is a more sort of flatter feeling ride with ultra cushion in it. You do notice the cushion. You've got a nice, because you've got the high stack height, you've got this nice heel counter at the back, which does add stability. The overall sort of lacing and sort of stuff like that is comparable to the Brooks, but like I said, the upper is much better on this. But the overall feel of it is, you do notice the stack height, you do notice that sort of flat feeling, but it's all about cushioning and just sort of taking you along on that long run. You do get an element of roll through it with the Speed Roll technology. The Power Run midsole is soft but responsive, which is nice. You know, for example, you put this into the Saucony Ride 13 and it just feels ultra smooth. They've given you a massive lump of it here, so you sort of don't get as a noticeable transition from heel to toe in terms of smoothness, but you do get a very nice feeling as you're going along in the shoe. I would say it does feel quite cumbersome. I have noticed the feeling of the fact that I've got the shoe on. I prefer sometimes to have a shoe that I don't necessarily feel like I'm in, if that makes any sense. So there's quite a lot to get used to if you're used to a more traditional shoe like the Brooks. And coming on to the Brooks, I think firstly, I absolutely love Brooks outsoles. One of the reasons why I buy Brooks shoes is because of their outsoles. Very much like with the Pegasus shoes, I buy them because I'm down the toe and canal paths, so they do take a beating, and it does reduce the life on a lot of my shoes. The breathability of the upper is fine. You know, I said I prefer this, but the breathability is absolutely fine in this shoe. The fit, both of these fit actually well. They're both true to size. I'm a 9.5 in both. Despite this being a Saucony, it's not as narrow as other shoes in the Saucony range, but the Brooks does fit true to size. It fits very well actually. It's got loads of soft foam around here. It's got a little bit of a heel counter there as well to add stability. The DNA loft is, I would say, slightly firmer than the Endorphin, but don't forget you've got a lot of stack height compared to the Brooks, so that's probably why you feel that a little bit more. But overall, the feeling of this shoe is more traditional, and I prefer this feel versus the Saucony because it is literally, you know, a traditional shoe you can just stick on, run, and you don't necessarily notice it like you do with the Saucony. Now the Saucony is breaking in more. I've had this shoe a little while now, and it is breaking in the more I run in it. So where I did the sort of reviews previously, it has come a little bit more into its own. It doesn't feel as stiff, but it still is a little bit stiffer than I was expecting, which is why I think out of the two, which might seem a bit odd, I personally prefer the Brooks. I prefer the well, firstly the outsole in it, but I prefer just the overall traditional feel of the shoe, and that's just me. These are both awesome shoes. I mean, this is cheaper for a start off, but these are both great shoes that will eat up miles and will do you a fantastic job if you're a neutral runner. But for me, out of the two, I'm a bit more of a traditionalist, and I just prefer the Brooks Glycerin 18.